Right, so in my mind, the thing that you want to keep in mind for packing for the ID camp is that you're the one asking the question, so it's already flawed. This question's flawed because you're not, whatever you deem is important doesn't really matter, because on the value system of whatever your son's bringing, it doesn't, you want to let him do all his packing, because what he brings, that's what's going to be important to him, and he's going to use what he brings, right? So you packing for him isn't going to help him grow as a player or a person, right? So the things I'm thinking about as a 32-year-old who's been thinking about soccer for the past 27 years is I'm bringing tools for sleep. I'm bringing tools to supplement my breakfast, so nuts, seeds, proteins, water, and I'm bringing tools to help me restore my body and train effectively, right? So where would you start? For me personally, if you have no money, or let's say you have a lot of money but don't know where to start, right? If I'm your 14-year-old son, the first thing that's going to completely change the quality of his time there is improve his sleep, right? You can take charge by investing in an eye mask. That would be my number one. Number two would be an RMT rope. The third would be sunblock. The fourth would be 2 golf balls to roll out the feet after practices. The fifth might be sandals, because they have thin soles and let the feet spread out effectively. The sixth would be a Dick Hartzell, or just search a loop resistance band. You could get a pack of 5 for $25 of all resistances, which is going to help you be able to stretch more effectively and traction joints, muscles, tendons, and ligaments to relieve tension. And then I would say the most important thing is his attitude. It's like, who are you going to select? The kid who's on their cell phone at the start, you're watching all the kids, and there's like kids that are on their cell phone that are just like not getting themselves ready for a day of training, or the kid who showed up an hour early, who already got 1,000 touches before the session started, who's doing a mix of active stretching, dynamic movement, like hanging from trees, decompressing the spine, and juggling, challenging himself with different juggling patterns, right? You want the player who can display, who can show that he's actually deserves not just to be there, but who's in a state of a joyous state of play, because it's like he's showing you that he's already invested the amount of time, and that his mindset isn't like, he doesn't value, it's not about looks anymore. He's just like playing because he loves to play, right? That's who I'm selecting, because if they have a joy for the game, then they're gonna be a joy to play with their whole lives. But it's like the kids who think it's like a zero or one, right? Like there's only, like it's a winner take all game. It's not. It's a perpetual. It's like you want the coaches of this ID camp to say, who's this kid over here? What's he doing? Because in their mind they're thinking the future value of his. He's already displayed with his actions that the future value of his time is like. They would be curious to see where he's going, right? If your son shows up to every training session 15 to half an hour to 45 minutes early, and is using a combination of a kick trainer, juggling a size 1 ball or a tennis ball, and using an RMT rope, and using and loop bands to traction his body, right? Dick Hartzell tractioning, then that's the player I'm selecting, because it's like, he's advanced and he's having fun, and then it's good energy, right? The kid who shows up in who's not prepared, who's forgetting their shin pads, who's not organized, who's complaining about the sun and complaining about this, and who's like on their cell phone and is like trying to draw attention to themselves for all the wrong reasons directly, like wants to kind of showboat on the field, isn't helping the players around them get better, right? That's who I don't want. So I think something else that just comes to mind are are, you know, kind of like your soccer rituals. It's like the most important times of the day in my mind are the last 10 minutes before bed and the first 10 minutes when you wake up, because then that 10 minutes you could take a hot shower, throw an eye mask on, and get great sleep. You could also lay out your clothes for the next day just to get yourself going. And it's the players who are like on their phone before bed. They don't have a nighttime ritual. They may or may not have, like, they don't have a ritual for sleep. And it took me like 15 plus years to even start thinking about a sleep schedule. So I think that's very important for a soccer player. Light stretching before bed, and then in the morning, first 10 minutes, you're waking up, you're getting yourself going, right? You're getting music on, you have one alarm set, if that, and having a big breakfast, right? Big breakfast. In my mind, they're gonna have a lot of bread. They're gonna have a lot of breads, bagels, fruit. I would go heavy on the fruit and the protein, right? Nuts, fruits, protein, seeds. And personally, I'd stay away from the cereal, the bagels, the toast. Not that I don't love my fair share of bagels, cereals, and toast, but right, your son's gotta start doing what is the best for him. So, it's not really what you pack that's the most important. It's like it's like he's got to start to think about what's most important for him, because what he packs will be a reflection of what he values in his current day-to-day. It's like everything that he touches in his given day, that's all the stuff that should come, you could argue, because like if he's using it when he's here, then he should be using it when he's at ID camp, right? So I think the categories are the things for great sleep, tools for great sleep, tools for a great morning, and then restoring and protecting the body, sunblock, RMT rope, loop resistance band, and a size 1 ball, so that he can bring a ball with him everywhere he goes and train perpetually at the camp, right? Because there's not going to be one kid, I promise you, who brings a ball with them at every single session, who brings their own ball every single breakfast, lunch, dinner. And that's the player who I want on my team, the kid who's getting more touches than anyone else and who's having the most fun in a relaxed and effortless way. So I hope this helps, and reach out with any questions. All right, thank you.